Planet Earth. Planet Earth, everything must come to an end. Nothing lasts forever. Planet Earth has to come to an end too. The dunya has to come to an end after Allah decreed when it has to come to an end. Now, Day of Judgment, that's the most important day, and it also the most scariest day for every single human. Every single person from the beginning till the end, from Sayyidina Adam to the last person in the world that's going to live, every single human being, every single animals from the beginning, from the time of Adam to the last day, all the animals, all the creations has to be on Day of Judgment. Every single people from the beginning till the end, every animals from the beginning till the end has to be on Day of Judgment. Yawmul Qiyamah. Now, every single nation from the beginning, from Sayyidina Adam to the last person, all the nations, the nation of Ad, the nation of Sayyidina Hud, the giants, the worst enemies of Allah, from Fir'aun to Qarun to Haman to Iblis, Uncle Iblis, the Shayateen, the devil, they'll be there on Day of Judgment. Every single nation, the nation of Arab, the nation of the Arabs nation, the Indian nations, Hispanic nations, Oriental nation, Polynesian nation, African nation, Caucasian nation, Amazonian nation, every single nation will be on the Day of Judgment. Every religion will be there, not just as Muslims. The religion of Christianity, the religion of Judaism, Hinduism, Jehovah's Witnesses, Buddhism, every single religious and every single different religious people will be there on Day of Judgment. Not a single thing will be absent from the court of Allah on Day of Judgment. If someone, a baby was born and that baby lived for a day or even lived for an hour or a couple of hours, that baby will be there on the Day of Judgment. The babies that did not even come to life, to the dunya, that died in their mother wombs, they'll be there on the Day of Judgment. Absolutely nothing from the beginning till the Day of Judgment. Every single living people, every single living creatures, animals, from the beginning till the end, the human creature, the human beings and the animals, they're not even born yet till the Day of Judgment. They'll be there on the Day of Judgment. Absolutely no one can escape Day of Judgment, and no one will not be resurrected. Every single human being and every single creatures, animals will be resurrected. At the beginning, the accountability, the judgment will be of animals, all types of animals, from dinosaurs to elephants to whales, birds, fishes, ants, goats, sheep, you name it, elephants, giraffe, kangaroos, every single type from dinosaur to the last animals, creatures to come to dunya, they'll be there. And Allah, let's say an animal, an ant, assaulted another ant without any cause. Allah will say to the victim ant, you take your revenge and you will be judged with justice from me. I am the Arhamur Rahimin. I am the most merciful of all those who show mercy. Nobody is more and most merciful than me. And today, the Rahman, and I'm the most merciful, and I'm the Arhamur Rahimin, will give your justice and will give your trial. So the victim ant will hit the tyrant ant and he'll get his justice done. And every other animals, doesn't matter what type of animals, it could be a tiger, it could be an elephant, it could be a giraffe. If any type of animals assaulted another animals without any reason and oppressed another animal without any reason, all the victims animals will take their revenge in the court of Arhamur Rahimin. After that, all the animals, our Rabb will tell them, your justice, your judgment, I dealt with everyone, and I dealt every single animals fairly, to the utmost fairness, just like humans. And Allah Azza wa Jal gonna turn them into dust. And then the judgment will start for us humans. Every single person on this earth will have to face Allah. They have to face Him alone. Every person, there would be no groups. Everybody's gonna go one by one to the court of Allah, and He's gonna speak and He's gonna give the judgment individually. And that day, every single thing will be brought up to Him. Every single thing, every good thing a person did, every bad thing a person did, to an iota, to an atom's weight, will be there in front of His court. And no person, not a single slaves of Allah, will be dealt unjustly. No single person will even be oppressed with injustice to an iota. And everything will be questioned, everything will be judged, and everything will be given in absolute fairness. Every single person in this world, they did stuff. Every single person was doing according to his book, the Quran. And also every person that did not anything according to his book, Quran, and also to the Sunnah, they'll also be in his trial. Now, a person who was a tyrant in this world, a lot of people in this world, they're tyrants. They oppressed others because of their wealth, because of their power, because of their status. People take advantage. And these people, the tyrants, even Fir'aun, who was one of the most treacherous, wicked, and rebellious, arrogant tyrant he'll be there on day of judgment, and he'll has to give his accountability. Every single tyrant, every single arrogant person, every single egomaniac, every single person, because of their ego and because of their arrogance, they thought it could be various reasons. It could be because of their wealth, because of their because they're very, very intellectual, very, very smart. Because of those reasons, people become arrogant, and also everybody has their ego, but a lot of time people use their ego too much. They don't know when and how to use it, and because of their being arrogant and tyrant with power and wealth, these people have to face the court of Allah. Nobody will escape, not a single person. And on that day, every single person has to be in front of him, and no person can say a word unless he permits. Your lips will be sealed, and every person's skin, every person's hair, every person's eyes and ears and hands will be witness against them. And we take care of our body, we take care of our face, we put lotion on our body, we put facial cream, we put cologne, we put lip balm to look good, we put dress nice to take care of our body. But on that day, our body parts will be our enemies. That day, no one have the power to say anything to Mr. God. That day, doesn't matter how powerful, how tyrant, how big, how mighty you are, Mr. God will be in the court, and he'll be the judge. Even the judges in this world, let's say a lot of judges who are not fair, in a lot of judges, they take and they say stuff, and probably, not all cases, but some cases, even some judges, they don't judge with the fair eye and with justice and law. These judges will be on front of a judge who's gonna be the most scariest judge, and they won't have a power to even move a limb, because they're gonna be front of Mr. God. And every single person that oppressed every people on this world, every tyrant, every ruler, every king who were not fair and who were cruel and harsh, Mr. God will be their judge, and they will have not a single thing to say if he doesn't allow them. And that day, Mr. God will take care of these people, and Mr. God will be Mr. Boss and Mr. God in that day. And who can say anything and move a limb and not be judged in a fair way? Because nobody is gonna say stuff or do stuff to get away and say, I didn't do this. A lot of people are gonna lie. They say, oh, I didn't do this in dunya. This is false. I don't believe in this. Everything is being recorded from puberty until your death. Everything that you say, everything that you do in secrecy, every time you pray, make dua, every time you do anything in the dunya, everything is being recorded in your book of deeds. And that day, nobody's gonna escape, and nobody's gonna question. Nobody even cannot move a single inch if Mr. God don't allow them. That day, the day of judgment, is going to be so scary, because a lot of people in this world were dealt unjustly. A person, let's say a person was extremely smart, but he took advantage of his smartness to another person who was a dumb person, and because of his intellect, he outsmarted that person and oppressed and conned that person that person, he abused them because of his smartness. On Day of Judgment, both of them will be in front of Allah, and Allah will say to the person in dunya, this person, I didn't give him much intellect, and you were extremely smart, and because of his smartness, you conned him, you took advantage, because the person, the same Allah who gave a person the smartness, and the same Allah could have given the person who's very, very low level of intellect, that dumb person could have been just smart as the other person if the same Allah willed. Matter of fact, that person, he could have been more smarter than that person who is smart. And on the Day of Judgment, he's going to explain why that person, Allah didn't make him smart. There is a hikmah, there is a wisdom, and on that day, on Day of Judgment, he's going to answer why he wasn't smart. Everything will be there on Day of Judgment. Everybody has to give their accountability, whether they did everything good. A person who's pious, a person who was very, very righteous, a person who was listening and following everything to our religion will be rewarded. A person who did every single type of crimes, all these criminals will be there. Allah said that in His creation, nothing is more and most hatred in His eyes than the creation of dunya. This dunya to Him is the most hateful and despiseful in His eyes. He hates nothing in the creation of all creation than dunya. And there is a reason behind why He hates the dunya the most hateful way. Because this dunya is a test. This dunya is a prison for the believers, and this dunya is paradise for the non-believers. This dunya, you have a lot of ill-hearted people. You have a lot of evil people. People are so much evil. People are so much corrupt. There's too many crimes are happening in dunya from the beginning. There is too much evil is happening, too much corruption is happening, too much cunning is happening, too much manipulation is happening. This dunya, and the crimes are getting worse and worse day by day. And every single type of crimes you could imagine is happening in the dunya, and it will get worse and worse until the Day of Judgment. The more time passes by, the more serious crimes is happening, and it will happen. It's already happened, but the crimes will get even worse and worse as time goes along, and we reach Day of Judgment. And this world, every single worst possible evil already had happened. Every single worst possible crimes has happened. That's why to Allah, that's why to Him, because of this reason, to Him, this world is the most hateful, the dunya, in His eyes. And this world is not something fun. It's very, very evil, and everybody will get their accountability on Day of Judgment, and nobody will be treated harshly. Every single person will get their fairness and judgment. And if somebody is very, very pious, they'll go to Jannah, And if somebody didn't do anything according to Allah's law, they'll go to Jahannam. And Jannah is the reward for every pious and every law-abiding servants, and the Jahannam is the prison for every non-abiding people that don't follow the rule of Allah, and they'll go to Jahannam and they'll get punished. It's the prison, and the prison in this world is nothing comparing to the prison in Akhirah, the hellfire. That prison is much, much, much worse than the prison of dunya. And the more crime we do, and the worse crime we do, the lowest level of Jahannam you're gonna go to. Like the saying goes, if you do the time, you do the crime. The worst crime you do, the lowest level of Jahannam you're gonna go to. And for the people who are pious will go to Jannah, and the most best reward and more pious you'll go to Jannah. And the best Salihin people, the most righteous and most worshipper of Allah, will go to Firdaus, Jannatul Firdaus. And that's what's going to happen on Day of Judgment.